Yeah, because it's such a you know, I mean, you know, but nobody can replace the person that you were originally there with. You know, a waitress could sit beside you and talk to you and, you know, sit down and drink a cup of coffee with you, but she doesn't have 30 history years of, hey, you remember, you know, and then you accidentally call your wife's name or something, thinking back, and then everybody thinks you're just an old man just talking to himself. Or you could sit there and not say anything and just play on the computer and eat dinner by yourself. Or you could just eat there and not say anything. So I find it very uncomfortable to sit down in a restaurant, like like they don't have what we used to have. Like I wouldn't have any problems going to like um they used to have a bar and catfish fries and it's all baked, you know, um 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 restaurant. You know, I don't have to drive my motorcycle up there. I could drive my car. It could be a Pinto wagon. It doesn't matter. Nobody judges. We can spend, you know, $20 and get all kinds of beer and then, you know, just sit at the bar for 20, 15 minutes, you know, talk to people like real humans because we're all, you know, we got something in common. We like catfish, beer, fishing. We can all find something to talk about within that in that type of environment. So, but they ain't got none up no more. I'm not gonna go to Steak and Ale or what. I'm gonna sit at Red Lobster and get me a glass of champagne and eat a lobster and sit there by myself and spend $300 for a meal. But not only do I feel foolish, I'm not gonna be happy. You know, it's not like you're gonna go to the table next door. Hey, how's your catfish going? You know, at a bar, you don't have any problems walking up. Hey, you need a beer, dude? I'll get you one on the way. How's the lobster? I got the gator tail. You know, there's beer. All right, you guys have a good one. Easy peasy. Yeah, like you know, that's one of the things when you know as well as I, when you have to make such a life adjustment like that, that only people have to know. And we make our life adjustments. Nowadays, I'm more than happy to make life adjustments. I'm comfortable with trying to help you guys. I mean, gosh, it's not like I can drive 75 to 100 miles and go down there and just have a dinner with you. You know, I'll be drunk. You don't want me driving that far. Of course, the vehicle will do it. Ah, you underestimate me. You think I can't drive and drink? Oh, you meant legally. I found that rather hilarious. You mean legally, am I supposed to? No. Is it wise? No. Should I? No. So I don't. Can I? Are you sure you're challenging me? It'd be like that court order. Let's make all right, my calendar is gonna call your calendar on our computers and they'll get together and I gotta GPS this out real quick. I'm glad I have steering assist. If you see me pulling up in the back of my truck and nobody's driving the car, you know that I finally managed to program my car to do what I wanted to do. Yeah, what I found hilarious about that entire point was not only was he in a car that he, because let's face it, that man has no business behind a steering wheel with a brake and a turn signals and a gas pedal. That lawyer, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm still not over lawyer issues. I'll deal with them tonight when I go to sleep and forget that he ever bothered me. Um, that reporter asked him about Israel, and then he pops off like he's got some smart mouth. Boy, I tell you what, if I know a couple people that's went to war, that me one included, to protect Israel in the military, and he pops off to that reporter. He goes, "Why don't you stand in front of my car and I'll run you over? You want to ask me about Israel?" You know how bad that would have triggered me off if he would have said that to me? I mean, no, I mean, do you really know how bad that would have made me mad? You're threatening as a president of the United States of America. I would have walked in front of his car and dared him to run me over. I'd have stood there like I wasn't moving, and I wouldn't have neither. You refuse to defend Israel, and you're going to run me over for asking if you refuse to defend Israel, kill me, and your blame is yours. How's that for a joke? Oh, he's a pansy. He can't. He went over there, wimped at him, and goes, "Oh, well, just you guys well, AOC is saying you guys are beating up on Palestinians." No, it's not Palestinians, you dickwad. I mean, he doesn't even understand the difference between Palestinians, Kamastans, I mean, Hamas, Israel, Iran, Iraq. I mean, apparently he doesn't have a map. And he's in charge of protecting our allies. Israel talked to him on the phone and he goes, "Hey, will you guys stop sending missiles?" All right, Israel has sent 77 missiles. You know how many missiles they've hit and tried to hit Israel and Jerusalem with? Over 3,000 missiles. 3,000. Yes, they did that. You know what? As why they don't have 3,000. That entire city and all of Israel and all the churches and everything with what ammunition? If we did not have the Iron Dome over there, all of those cities would have been leveled. Do you know the Patriot system? I mean, the Iron Dome system is one that we used to program. It used to be called the Patriot missiles. Remember the Patriot missiles? You don't remember? Oh, it may have been a top secret thing. It's called a Patriot missile. Um, back when I was over there in those dumbass wars, because those people have been doing this. They weren't quite this aggressive by any means, but we designed what's called a Patriot missile system, and then I ended up stuck over there for like 2 years for no reason in a dumb war. And then we had to go and reprogram it, and then they renamed it as the Iron Dome. And but all of the IFAR and the radar and everything, they're quite they're not even really big or anything. They only have one objective. They had a missile. They don't. You can't program the Iron Dome to hit another city. That's why they have to fly planes over to take down strategic targets. But we have a 90% effective, about 93% effective rate, which is pretty good. Yeah. See, that's what these people don't get is I have been there. I have had to do this run over, find a ditch with a gas mask on. I have done these things. People here are like, well, there's a little bit of rioting in the street, and somebody in Chicago killed somebody. There was a black gentleman that, and I'm like, dude, you have no idea. You guys are pretending as though this is a religious problem. No, it's straight out war. It's not, you know, is this a Jewish community? Is this a Israel community? Is this a Arab community? Is this a Muslim community? They're sending 3,000 missiles. Now, let's look at it this way. If Mexico sent 3,000 missiles to Washington, D.C., do you know where they would land? We don't even have a Patriot missile system on the Mexican border. We have no Iron Dome. All we have is space agency. And they just fired somebody. We're saying that this Marxism, racism book that they sent to all of my junior officers to teach them that we are inferior because we did not embrace socialism. I'm looking at an actual war. I'm not really thinking that it's 100% Israel, Jerusalem, Palestine, Moses. It doesn't bleed into are they fighting about whether Jesus lived on earth or not? They're just blatantly killing each other. Well, then that's ridiculous. Exactly. And when, I mean, we could carry this out to any further issue that they wanted. Anybody, we could nuke the entire earth, and then maybe in 20 or 30 million years from now, maybe God will resurrect one person and they'll be human again. But if you destroy everything and then say, I've got everything that I've destroyed, what did you get? Everything that you've destroyed, you have nowhere to build from there. You've destroyed it. So it's just completely stupid. But we as Christians, or how I as hopefully feel you feel, but there are so many weirdos on earth. And unfortunately, there are so many dang powerful things, and it makes so much money. Human life to them means nothing, which is terribly, terribly sad. Yeah, I was like, dude, get your shit together, or I'm gonna flood the earth and kill everybody. Yeah, but killed all of them and their babies too was um in biblical days a way of saying my interpretations of some Bible scriptures are different than others. I will be honest. Is in that time frame of them reading and writing in Hebrew, and our interpretations, to my mind, means that the simple ideals of stop that it doesn't have to be called Marxism, socialism, or anything. Stop that path and go a new path, which is in Proverbs. If the path you find is so rough and you find yourself alone in the wilderness, find a new path. We wouldn't talk about this over steak and ale dinner. Yeah, it's well, these it's always been it I mean it does have its roots in Judaism and all that, but the escalation of it, they've lost all meaning. I just call the people that sent 3,000 missiles Antifa, and I call Israel the poor defendants trying to not hurt anybody, but stopping, the virus of Hong Kong, Quan, Chain, North Korea, you know, I mean, like COVID shots, I'm not saying it's biblical times because by no means do I feel as though I'm going to die tomorrow. or anything. But these people are making stupid, stupid, stupid decisions. When I was in the middle of the war and I had to send missiles and stuff, we did our best not to hurt anybody. But if they had rockets, nuclear weapons, and I had to destroy a nuclear weapon silo, I would. Okay? Because these people are so ignorant that they may actually use them. Okay? If one guy happened to be sitting there piping up the nuclear weapons and it took out a 60-mile radius, I'm sorry that I killed that one dude. But he was about to destroy 100,000 people with one nuclear weapon. I can make that decision. I'm a simple man myself. Oh yeah, yeah. We warned him. Yeah, we warned him. We told him to get out of that seven. It was a 13-story building. They had and what they were doing is they were using they were using a specific broadcasting frequency network, and they were trying to use it over. So we had to take a broadcasting tower down. Yeah, it was 13 stories. We gave them an hour. Nobody was killed. Nobody was killed in that. And not only that, if you looked at that, that building was destroyed in a way that it fell away from everybody else. Did you notice that? Oh yeah, yeah. Go back and review the video. Yeah. We came in, we had to circle around. I had it took programming. And it come in, it circled around. There was only one option in order to hit it at the exact right point to make it fall away from the other buildings. And they had cleared the entire block. That only one story, it completely destroyed it. The next one got structural damage, but it was empty. We even warned our enemies to get the hell out of there. We were not putting up with that cell tower anymore. You can't put a cell tower up there. Oh, yeah. Well, I can imagine they wouldn't. Okay, yeah, but all right. But there's nothing I can do if they refuse and they're murdering. How do we know that those children weren't already murdered before we ever had to send in it? We told them to leave. Leave, leave, leave. You have ample amount of time. I mean, it's only 27 kids. You've got a hospital and got you've already you're sending rockets from outside of a window 1,000 miles away out of a window. I'm going to have to level that, or you're going to have to stop sending these damn rockets from there. I'll tell you what, tonight I might focus. I've missed him twice. I've tried to kill that little bastard twice. Their war ministry. Oh, it's a particular person. It's a guy running in charge of it's the head man under the third in charge after Iran, Iraq, Iraq, Iraq. All right. So Iraq sent a proxy war. He's he's like the vice admiral of the Kurds, but he's in that town. and he's going in back and forth under those tunnel networks, and he was trying to use that cell tower for intel to try to figure out how to target the Patriot missile. I mean, the dome system. They had one hit that was close to the dome system until we took the tower down. Now they're running blind, but I'm still trying to find him. We made two strikes on this known location, but he evaded just like oh, who was that guy, like 9/11 dude or whatever? You remember that war crime criminal that it was a different war, but it's the same thing. We found him in what was called a spider cave. At first, we thought he was in the mountains, and we bombed the mountains and everything. Yeah, Bin Laden. Yeah, well, he's there, Bin Laden. I made two hits on him, but I missed twice. Yeah, well, we're gonna find him. The thing is, I mean, what if Bin Laden, goes to a child's hospital and just stands there? Am I allowed to, blow up the hospital to kill him? There's, I mean, their hospitals, let's face it, they're piss poor to unbelievable. At best, they have 300 people in them. And to be blatantly honest with you, you do realize that the Kurds are now not allowing the Palestinians food into that city. They've cut the Palestinians themselves have cut off the food supply to that city. They cut off all help. They've cut off UN. They're sending missiles because they got the money from dipshit Joe. They're hiding. They're murdering people. They're shooting people in the street. They're shooting their own Palestinians and saying it was shrapnel. Because if there's no hospitals, all they report is 23 dead. They don't say it's gunshot wounds from the forces that are occupying the Palestinian area that are terrorists. Has a terrorist ever been afraid to hit a subway in San Francisco? All you know is a subway blew up, killed 23 kids. You don't say it was, somebody that was occupying the United States of America illegally. Well, the Palestinians need to balls up and kick the Kurds out. I mean, obviously, they're not helping the Palestinians. They're not making money off of it. They're losing houses. The Kurds are just having stuff imported on the railway. Nobody's making money except for Iran to ship this stuff. And they're starving the poor children. Trump would have never, I mean, this shit would have been solved like 2 days from yesterday. We don't have no damn werewolves. What we got is a pussy ass president that don't have a dang clue. You know what Joe Biden had the balls to go and ask both of them and the UN and say, I don't know what to do. Does anybody have any suggestions how we could get peace? That's a world leader. That's my world leader. Not on your fucking life. Well, you know how I feel about war, and I don't like killing. There ain't no reason for this shit to drag on. Am I capable of but yeah, but I mean we don't want to kill people. That's the entire point. We want them to stop. And we want them never to be able to do this again. So I have to kill this dumbass asshole. I just gotta find this little prick butt. Within the next 2 weeks, I'll guarantee you he's gonna be dead. I'm sorry it takes forever, but you know, satellite recon. Can't name his name or else I'll get tagged. Trust me, he's gonna be in Palestine or he'll be found in he'll he may not never be reported as no longer the leader of the Kazakhstans in Palestinian land. But after that, this shit'll quiet down and they'll have a truce. I just gotta kill one ignorant. Yeah, I know. Well, there's always, I mean, gosh, there was only one Hitler, but nowadays there's so many, Hitler lookalikes that just have enough power to screw up a lot of stuff and enough money to be able to do it. And such disregard for poor souls. And they really have no reason. Have you ever been to Israel? You've never been to Israel, have you? You know how much Israel was no different in sand and lack of vegetation, lack of beautifulness or anything than those people living in Arab land. You know, it's nothing but camels and desert. Israel introduced irrigation systems in their city. It was a complete desert. It's becoming where they can grow trees almost the size of mine now. And it's in the middle of the desert. They're very careful with their water. It's difficult to get a hold of water over there. And those people are trying to destroy the trees. And I mean it was prophesized because those people had the foresight, but it only became technology available when humans did the physical labor to do it. We have water fountains in Israel. They don't even have toilets. They were capable of spending. You know how much those missiles cost? 3,000 missiles at $250,000. Surely they could have built a well and mm, got fresh water to the city. Why destroy somebody else's city, their waters, their trees, and everything, and then move in to a place that's just exactly like yours? No homes, no water, no infrastructure, no cars, nothing. What did you gain? Dead people. It's people are stupid. Fortunately, I guess, in a weird manner, is there's enough people in that somehow they're careful enough with war. Mhm. Yeah, I spent a couple of weeks. Man, I was attached to an Israel department at some of their headquarters and stuff. They're like really cool people. We used to I mean, they're freaky weird. They carry AK-47s into a bar in their full uniform, and we get drunk. Oh yeah, they're awesome. And if I was a single male and that chick was with me, I'd been sleeping in her house instead of a hotel room by myself. No, but they have a sweet side. I mean, you know, everybody has sides to them. I mean, you know, they're gentle people. They also, you know, they're nice looking too. Well, the Kurds women are kind of more I call Bantu women. Nothing I'd go to bed with. They may have beautiful women, but I've never been to Palestine. Oh, when I was dealing with ISIS and all that stuff, I was 1,000 miles away programming missiles. I I never interacted with those people very much. I mean, there was gas going off and stuff. There was there was but there was so many dang forces on that one little piece of property. You never know who the enemy was. And, you know, they were used biological. You know. And all I'm saying is, I just don't particularly enjoy war. And I know that our weak ass dumb president, God save his soul, he is completely clueless, and he certainly isn't helping the situation. Yes, they're saying that Israel is attacking Palestine. Israel is not attacking Palestine. Israel is attacking a Palestine city that has Kurd terrorists that are shooting rockets, and Israel is trying to, out of 300, 200 strikes, counteract 3,000 missiles to kill certain individuals so they don't have the capacity to live in Palestine, which Palestine has way more citizens. So Palestine should kill the dumb people that are getting their shit bombed or turn off their power or whatever it takes. I mean, wouldn't you take control of your own damn city? Are you going to allow a terrorist to live in your house and shoot rockets out at the cars out in front of your house and feed them? No. Eventually, you're going to push him out the window and point to him and say, "He, I wish not into my house." That's what they're doing. I don't know why the Palestinians don't. I've never investigated their pathology. Most of them are probably like you and me. We're too dang old, too dang innocent, and not dang mean enough to know what to do. So if an alarm goes off, we run and hide. I mean, the average citizen isn't a real warrior. Nobody's certainly willing to give up their life and run into a nest of, 10 terrorists just to prove he killed one to try to get him out of his house. If 10 terrorists take over your house, you really have no choice. Grab the dog, run. What's doing? Well, I had to cut him out of one of my homerooms because he was dead set on telling me how the weather's changing. I mean, and you know, I suppose like now if we got on this simple conversation, would I be asking him? Okay, okay, that uh, all of these chemtrails from jets are changing the weather, and we're making global warming and making it rain there. Is the Green New Deal, and if I send you a solar panel, going to help you? You know, and they wouldn't get the correlation that he's not going to do better with just one simple solar panel, and they're not actually intentionally trying to mess up our. Nobody's other than retards that are killing each other. There are very few people that are going over filling up jet engines with things to poison others. I mean, it's so much easier just to infect a few people and put them on an airplane and end up with the worldwide, you know, why would you kill people with chemtrails and make Earth unlivable for humans when you could just kill a certain group of individuals and then everybody has to spend billions of dollars for a shot? They're already talking about. I mean, did you ever get your COVID shot? No. Yeah. You know why we're not getting the COVID shot? Because it doesn't matter. Are you wearing a mask right this second? Yeah, but according to just 2 or 3 weeks ago, if you're in the house or outside by yourself, you're supposed to have a mask on. You know, if you go jogging in the park, I mean, me and you, we'll have wheelchair races down the park. I'll go down one path, you'll be a mile path away, and we have to wear a mask so we don't go COVID from me and you. Well, I don't have to wear a mask to talk to you on the phone. And it's all just such a stupid joke. Unfortunately, it is a biological agent and it's run its course. Yep. Yeah, they tried to turn it political and everything. It was such a joke. And the particles on the mask, it may help. And I have no problems with that. If anybody's comfortable wearing a mask, wonderful. And not only that, but I know I'm not going to get it because I've already had it. And I know I can survive it. I've already had it. I can live through it. Yes. In the shed, I had it. Remember those 2 weeks I was really, really, really sick and I had to keep getting antibiotics? Well, I'll tell you, out of the 10 people that were at the party, 7 of them had it. And all of us ended up with the same symptoms of various degrees. Why the hell get tested just to prove I had it? That's like proving that I had a vaccine shot. I don't need a history of whether I had it or not. And a damn good well I did. Everybody else did. I got sick. We all recovered. I do believe we had 1 or 2 people die, and that was unfortunate. Out of the group that has it, um, let me count. One, two. One died of cancer, so that can't count. Yeah, but I'm going off real statistics, people I know. 3. All right, now actual people. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19, about 20 people. Guesstimated, even with kids. Of course, we had a couple more kids, but they just run around with snotty noses and didn't know shit. Only one of them ended up having to take any antibiotics. Um, out of, and that's probably 10 kids. I'm just saying people that I've interacted with that I know for a fact. 2 died that I've never had any contact with. But with secondhand contact, what I call people I know. Bernie, remember Bernie's? His his okay. That's the one person, and that's in Michigan. We've never made any physical, you know, with no mask, nothing like that. He wasn't at the party. That's one person I know that has actually passed away for physical real. Then the 1 or 2 more under a coming of sort of similar situations that passed away under for physical real of us. just at Miss Face Party and the receptions and things over the ensuing weeks. And we were wearing masks and, you know, I mean, I can't say at a barbecue we were socially distancing, but nobody picked up your beer and took a swig of it and sat down and goes, "Oh, I didn't know I was drinking out of your beer." You know, we weren't swapping spit or nothing. It was about all of us got kind of sick here and there over, a week or two. Only a couple of us really, like Miss Faye had COVID. She's 70. Well, she was born in 1945. So figure the odds. She had it. Yeah, she was born in 19, but yeah, she's a sweet lady. She had it. Um, she didn't go to the hospital or anything. No, 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 sorry. Got her electric blanket and well, you know, but she got it from Natalie because Natalie had it. Natalie had to go to the doctor. And then I had a couple antibiotics, and then she took a couple antibiotics, and just maybe two. But for me, I had it for like 3 days, but I had 2 weeks of antibiotics. So I was given, I mean, like, so I go to the doctor, and he's like, and then I fake a disease, and he goes, "You have COVID," and I'm like, "Yeah, give me the damn antibiotics." So then he gave me enough that I should have took all of them, but I just, gave them away mostly, except for I only occasionally get one flare up now and then. But right now, there's a very bad flu going around. But Kathy has gotten a little bit of a flu, and I ran out of the proper antibiotics, and she's just nays necks. But I took her and Abe and everybody, and we went out and we had a nice sunny day, and we drove 60 miles an hour because she won't get, she doesn't feel good. She just wants to stay around the house. And we drove, 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes here, 30 minutes there, got food and, stopped by the CVS. And we don't wear a mask because we don't give a shit. And nobody else does anyway. We're in Florida. Nobody's wearing a mask. But she's got an upper respiratory infection, which is not COVID. She's got what's called a normal flu, a summer flu. But I don't have any antibiotics. Or else, I mean, she's had it for almost 3 or 5 days. She'll get over it in a week to 10 days. But if I had the antibiotics, then she would only have to spend 2 days of snotting and coughing and shit. But, they also say on the comfort side of that, that every time, you have a 10-day flu and you know it's exactly what it is, how it's going to feel, and everything, because we've all been through it, that it's always not best to just jump up and get it over with in 2 days because eventually you'll get it again. But then again, we've all been through it. So I'm kind of thinking, might not take the antibiotics, get over it in 3 days because I probably will get it again. You had it for 10 days. You may get it again. I may get it again after you if I hang out with you. But I only had to put up with it for 3 days instead of 2 weeks. So this whole not giving people antibiotics when they need it makes no sense to me. The the thing about the COVID is when I had it. Now I will give you a honest opinion of my experience with it. It was very uncomfortable, not like pneumonia. I didn't wheeze or anything. It was just simply like having the poops, a bad flu, and I did feel short and dizzy of breath and very, very thirsty. Oh my goodness. I could have drank in 17 gallons of water. Oh yeah, very, very thirsty. Um, the only sense of taste I got from it was I wasn't hungry because, but I ate because certain scents I could still smell. Like I couldn't smell bacon cooking, but when I tasted it, I knew exactly what it was. I could see it, I could smell it, except for only in my mind. And when I put it in my mouth, I knew that it was nutrition. So there's a sense of awareness about, if you lose your sense of smell, not to eat green and weird stuff that, like spinach, if you're a kid, or Brussels sprouts. But you know dang good well what's good for you and we should have. Even if you can't smell it. You have a wonderful night. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get rid of this dude, and eventually, after about uh, I give him 2 more weeks, then I'm gonna get involved in it. And that dude that was fired from space agency, I called a BS flag on it. He may be fired, but he was only demoted one, so he's no longer a lieutenant commander. As a matter of fact, they did not demote him from a lieutenant commander. The only thing they did was they capped him off in his career. He was not been in for a long time. So to be a lieutenant commander, a commander is really, really high up in the space organization. Okay. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of knowing what the heck you're doing and being able to do math. He spoke out. So he will, he can finish out his career, but unfortunately, it's not in the main center. They put him on a satellite. It's like being, you know, deployed, but he's still a commander. He just has a smaller troop to deal with. And it's kind of an intel situation instead of what they call making main political decisions. If you understand the politics of all that. You have a good night. What do you having in the morning as far as you say you're going to take care of Hannah at 9 o'clock? Okay, so you have plenty of time to get breakfast and everything. And if this crazy dumb lawyer doesn't bother me, maybe I'll have a good day. I would love to just know for a fact that I could just sleep all day and have perfect weather and just wake up and watch a movie or play the guitar or whatever. But at this point in my life, I still have stress. Well, thank God I don't have to invade a country or make decisions on whether to send nuclear weapons or not for real. I'm over that and too dang tired to do it. You have a wonderful night and sleep safe if I need to. Obviously, I have nothing to do 24/7 except for make sure Earth is safe. I love you. Have a good night. Bye. Mm. Ow! Ow! Ow. 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 Molly, your father is not enthusiastic, please, about physical pain. Molly. Hey, beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's my nose. I know. I know. I know. Let me see. Wait, I gotta take your GPS collar off. Okay. Can you breathe better? Alright. Thank you, love. You want to know where I put your necklace, don't you? Alright, let's go in the house. Oh. Okay, sweetheart. Good girl. Good. Good. Your necklace on the front door. Your necklace on the front door. I love you. Your necklace on the front door. Please, love. Please, love. Please move. Molly, move, please. Molly, move. Molly, move. Come here. Safe blanket. Safe blanket. Love. Safe blanket. Home. Safe. Molly, good. Good girl, thank you.